Hello there, how you doing? Sarah Munyi here. I'm your sister in excellence. If you're looking for excellence, if you are pursuing excellence in life, I'm your sister in the journey. And today I want to speak about a question. I want to answer a question that many people have been asking me about. How did you become a life coach? What is a life coach even? What exactly do you do? I always get most of those questions and very funny expressions because people like don't understand what is a life coach. Like, do you go and coach people on the field when they want to play football? Because we associate the word coaching with football. And so I get all these funny questions and expressions and so today I'm going to answer all of them. I'm going to tell you what is life coaching, what does it take for you to be a life coach, and how did I actually become a life coach? And I'm not sure. I don't know how long this video will take, but stay with me because I'm interesting. Yeah. So now, first of all, when I was young, when I was a child, a kid, like most of us, I wanted to be, those old time professions that sound nice to say, doctors, lawyers, what? Well, for me, I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to be an astronomer. I wanted to study the stars and I wanted to go to the stars. And that is a dream that I'm still pursuing to date. I'm not going to lose any of my dreams at none, and neither should you. So, uh, that's the dream that I had as I was growing up. So I never knew this thing of the life coach, at the motivational speaker, corporate speaker. Let me first of all tell you what I do so that you get where I'm coming from. So I'm a life coach, I'm a corporate speaker and trainer in the areas of change management, leadership, and personal development. Yeah, but I can assure you that 3-4 years ago I did not know any of those terms. At a corporate speaker, transformational coach, life coach, what is that? So I used to wonder a lot. Um, what exactly do I do in life? And so this is where I started, because everything starts from somewhere, right? So let's start where I started. So it all started about 3-4 years ago. I was working at an IT firm, an international IT firm, based in Kenya. And I was at a point in my life where I was so dissatisfied with my life. I've never been dissatisfied. Like, I was so dissatisfied. And every change starts from a point of dissatisfaction. You must be dissatisfied with a situation in your life or with something for you to desire another. So I was so dissatisfied with my life, with the quality of my life, and I would feel like I'm going through life without purpose. And I did have a sense of purpose actually, and it was depressing. And I there's the thing, I wasn't satisfied with what I was doing. I didn't like it at all, what I was doing. I knew this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. There must be more to life than this, but I don't know what exactly that thing is. So even if you ask me, what do you want to do in the next 3, 4, 5 years of your life, where do you see yourself, like we are always asked in interviews, I wouldn't have an answer. And if I said it, I would have lied. But when I was having the interview for the job, I knew what I wanted to do for 3, 5 years, because you have to answer an interview question, right? Thanks. You feel me? So I was dissatisfied with my life, and I was feeling like I was being misused or underused. Have you ever felt you have potential in you? You have a lot of potential, you have a lot of energy, but it's suppressed. Like, you're not able to bring it out well, and no one even cares that you have it. First of all, you're supposed to do things the way they're supposed to be done in this company, in this place, in this organization. So I was very, even depressed. It was so depressing. And every time you find you have brilliant ideas to things, but they're shot down because this is not how it's done here. So just to be at peace with everyone, you just submit to status quo. So for you to be at peace with everyone, for you to not hurt people, and to be loved by people, because you all love to be loved. But it was so depressing, really. So I was so dissatisfied with my life. I was wondering, what really do I do? And days used to pass very fast. I would feel like, oh my god, it's December again. What have I done this year? Nothing. I don't want next year to find myself in the same place. There's nothing changing. There's no growth. And let me tell you, there's nothing as depressing as to be in a place where there is no growth. You can't see growth. I knew something radically needed to change in my life, and I didn't know what that thing was. And so it so happened that I happened to go home one weekend, and that time there was uh, the former primary school where I went is called Mwandi Primary School, and there are some guests who were just bringing gifts and coming to visit the school and bringing some gifts what to the students. And it was a big thing in the village. When there's a visit like that, the visitors were from India, so when they're going to such a small village that like mine, it was such a big thing in the village. So my mother is a teacher in that school, and she was not even excited by the fact that I had gone to visit her that weekend. She was excited by the guests who are coming to the school. So I said, okay, what is this? I'm an old girl, I'll go and see what's happening. So I went, and when I got to the school, the deputy principal of the school saw me and said, Sarah, wow, it's so nice you have come, you have to speak to my candidates. Hey, and before I could say yes or no, she had already started leading me to the class 8 where the candidates were. And now the good thing is that she took me to the same class where I was in class 8, the same room. It was the same room that I was when I was in class 8. And so this is what I told the candidates. I told them, I sat on that desk, I wore the same uniform, I had the same teachers, I read the same books, and I am somewhere in life. I have managed to achieve 1, 2, 3 because I did 1, 2, 3. So those children listened to me. They looked at me. They were looking at my shoes, my dress, my hair, everything that I had, and they admired me. They told me their fears, their dreams. They opened up to me. In fact, even the teachers were so amazed. The principal was so amazed. He said, wow, I've never heard them speak, speak like this, and or someone engage with them like this. None of such a thing has ever happened. So they thought I'm a very important person. They were telling me to sign their books, like the maths book. I signed them, to autograph, yeah, like an important person. So they gave me a sense of purpose. I felt so nice. They wanted to take photos with me, even if they didn't know how they'd get those photos. So I just take photos with my phone. They were so happy. So the teacher said, actually, you have to speak to class 7. I went to class 7 and did the same thing, and they were so happy. Next, you have to speak to class 6, and I did the same thing. And at the end of it, they were so happy. The school was so happy. They now started engaging me in very high level education conversations about the country, how the country is doing in education, what should be done, trying to get my informed and expert view. I felt so important. Yeah. And then now, of course, they treated me like a guest, like a very important guest. I'm not just an old girl, I'm a very important old girl. And the community and the society needs me. That actually is what the principal told me. They were so happy. And so when I went home that evening, as I went to bed, I thought about it, and I was feeling so good. I was feeling like I have lived for something. Like today, I've done something meaningful with my life, and I felt, where has this been all my life? How come I had not started doing this, maybe 2 or 4 years ago? Where has this been all my life? Because I loved it. It was so natural. I didn't struggle, and it gave me a sense of love, a sense of fulfillment, a sense of purpose. So I said, I want to do this again. And so that's how I ended up going to very many schools around my area where I come from, and I'd feel so happy, so good. I feel like, now I'm finding passion for something. I'm loving it. I started developing passion, and I love it. And every time I give a talk and people said, I didn't know this, but you have changed my mindset. I'm going to do this. I have learned something that I did not know. I'd feel so happy. And so I started feeling like there must be a way that this is done in a better way, where there's more impact, or I just wanted to learn from other people who do the same thing. And so one day, I met a friend of mine after months, by the way. I met a friend of mine who runs a children's home, and I asked her, look, how do you usually mentor your children, the children that are in your home? How I want to learn from someone who has done this and how they do it. I want to know how it's done in a better way. I just felt like I needed some learning from people who are doing out there. And she told me that, what, today in the evening, there's an event, a very big event. There's a guy called Pepe Minambo. He's a motivational speaker. And I think that was even the first time I heard the name motivational speaker. Yeah. And this is like in 2015. Yeah, this is like in 2015, and around June or May there. And so she told me he's launching, he has a very big event, he's having a motivational talk. Yeah, so, and leadership, it was a leadership talk actually, and you can go and attend. And so I can tell you, that was about, because we met at around 2 p.m. and the meeting was starting at 5 p.m. and I can tell you at 5 I was seated on that hall waiting for these people being able to come and speak. And I sat there in that hall, and when I got there I actually saw, because like from the leaflets that we were given after registration, I saw that he was actually launching an academy, a motivational and speaking and leadership academy. And all the things that were listed there, discovering yourself, your purpose, personal branding, uh, was everything that I was looking for. Everything that was written on that leaflet, it was everything I was looking for. And so I was very eager. And then slowly by slowly the hall started filling up, and it was such a big hall, and by 6 p.m. it was full. And then these great speakers started speaking, and they were amazing. They addressed my greatness. They were speaking into my greatness. They were speaking to my potential. They were speaking into who I am truly am, because we all know who we truly are. We all know the potential that we have. We know this great person that we are, but then it doesn't always come out. Yeah, because the thing is that the person who you always want to be. That great person, that limitless person, that person who is focused. But then no one really speaks into that person. So the reason why I say it was a great meeting is because though all the speakers, they addressed my greatness, the person in me who is great, that potential in me, that I'm a change maker, I'm an important person, the world is waiting for you. And I felt like crying, because I knew for sure I have something. I don't know how better to give it out, but I have something. So it was such an emotive meeting for me. It was a life-changing meeting for me, and it was like stepping into a new world. I was wondering, you mean there is a way you can even have such a big meeting like in Nairobi, telling people what I tell them in high school, in what I do in my small meetings in Kirinyaga County, speaking to high school students? For me, it was life-changing. It was just life-changing. And so that was it. So I signed up for the academy, and I started learning. And it was so interesting, by the way, learning, discovering myself, personal developing myself, learning stuff to do with me, you know being more attentive to who I am. And let me tell you, the longest, the hardest, the most fascinating, the most interesting journey that you will ever take in life is the journey of self-discovery. Yeah, because if you're going to help people, for those of you who are watching this video, you are a mentor, or you want to be a life coach, or you want to get into that space, the first thing that you want to do is, first of all, find yourself. Who are you? What is your identity? Because you can't be helping people find themselves when you're lost. That would be a very bad story, because both of you get lost. So it was more about discovering myself, who I am, the qualities that I have, the potential that I have, the abilities that I have that can help me achieve my dreams. And I started reading books. I never used to read books. I started reading books. I started being more attentive to my emotions. I started listening to people more. I started appreciating people more. It was a life-changing experience, and our coach was very good. And I told him, please, Pepe, please put me in your luggage. I want to walk with you. I want to go with you. So he actually introduced me to the corporates. So when he's going to have meetings, talks in the corporates, he would take me with him. So I went and there, and I learned a lot. And then I told you, can I just, like, as you're studying, I just do like 5 minutes of a presentation on change? Because I was speaking to him, and he asked me, Sarah, you want to inspire the world? I said yes. What do you want to inspire? I said, I want to inspire change, because I believe that for someone to grow, for you to grow, for you to excel in life, you have to be very adaptive to change. You have to accept change. Without change, there can be no growth. And I was really feeling, I was at a point in life where I was going through a lot of change, a lot of transformation. I started changing. I started being more objective in life. That training really helped me. And then I started realizing that I started seeing things, some patterns in my life, because I have always had people come to me to tell me their problems. Even my colleagues that come and vent to me, about their my boss is like this, like that, what, and I'd give very objective feedback or answers, and even when we are somewhere and we're getting subjective or a meeting is getting lost, I'm the one who'd like come and say, guys, this is the challenge, this is a real problem, this is what we need to be addressing, not addressing people or things that don't matter. And so I started realizing that people, I have always been at a point where I'm giving advice to people. Someone tells me, please come and speak to my daughter, come and speak to my son. They're like this, they're like that, and I think you'll help them, and there will be positive feedback and results. So I started realizing this is something that has been there in my life. And then when it comes to trainings, in the company that I was working, I'd always help our HR organize for trainings, and I used to love it, and so she used to love me very much because I'm doing her work and she gets the credit. So I started realizing I'm getting into that piece of trainings and speaking to people, but it has always been there in my life. Yeah, only that I didn't have a purpose, or I didn't have a message that I want to speak to people about. So when my coach asked me, Sarah, what do you want to inspire to the world? I told him, I want to inspire change. I want to inspire people to change, and not just change, but change to excellence. Because change is just a journey. Change is not an ultimate thing. It's not a destination, yeah, but it's a way. It's a way to any destination. It's a way to excellence. It's a way to achieve any dream that you have. For you to grow in life, you have to be very adaptive to change. You have to change your mind. You have to change something in your life. And so for me, I realized that what actually needed to change in my life was me, was my thinking, was my mindset. Yeah, that's what first of all needed to change, because when you change inside, everything outside changes. Yeah, when you change your attitude, everything else changes. So I started being very positive and being very confident. Yeah, and people could notice. People started noticing even at my place of work that, actually they'd even tell me that now you're even smarter, like even the way you dress, your mind. I mean, people saw a change. It was a real transformation for me. And so my coach told me, asked me that what I want to inspire, and I saying change. um, he gave me some advice, and he told me, so now what you need to do if you want to inspire change, he told me, Sarah, I want you to open a group, a WhatsApp group, put 100 people. He asked me, how many people do you have in your phone? How many contacts do you have in your phone? And I told him I have like 2,000. My 2,000 now. I want to open a WhatsApp group, put like 100 people. Don't even put the 2,000. Put only 100 of your people, of your friends in that group, and start telling them about what you want to do. Because if you want to inspire change, if you want to inspire something in the world, then you need the world to know about it. Yeah, you need the world to know about it. How will they know? Yeah. So because as a coach, and this is what I found, if you have a coach or if you have a mentor, their work is not to advertise your job or who you are. It has to start with you. It has to start with you. You have to show the passion. You have to have the passion, and you have to speak about it. So, and that's what I did. So, and I opened a WhatsApp group, and I added like 100 of my friends, and I started posting really inspirational things. Even on my Facebook changed, because I used to post other things, who can I buy lunch today? Who can buy lunch today on social media, on Facebook? I mean, useless things. But that day, but since I got into the academy, I started posting insightful things about change, about inspiration, motivational quotes. I mean, some nice things, and people noticed the change. So they would ask me, Sarah, I thought you were in the IT industry. I said, yeah. Then I found my true north. Yeah. So I mean, it was a journey. And so when I go and speak to people, like I'm invited to go and speak to a youth group somewhere, people started calling me a coach. The coach is coming. I'm like, who is the coach? They're referring to me. They started calling me a motivational speaker. I never even called myself those things. They started calling me, hey, are you a motivational speaker? You're a life coach. You're a, and you're a corporate trainer. I said, yes. You're a motivational speaker. Yes. And I found that's actually what I do. I usually motivate people. I inspire people. And I train people. And I give guidance. I help people to find themselves. So people started to say, are you a life coach? I said yes, because even my mentor actually, Pepe Minambo, was not even he was not a life coach. He was a motivational speaker. But I started finding people, coming to me, telling me they have this issue, asking me how much I usually charge for life coaching, like for 2 hours, for a session of 2 hours, how much I charge. And so, Richard Branson said that if someone gives you a job and you can do it, and you don't know how to do it, you take it and then you figure it out on the way. Yeah, because that's how you learn and that's how you grow. And so I'd say yes, this is what I do. So I started researching a lot on what is done on life coaching, and I found that it's something I have always done, but I didn't know what it was, and I was actually doing it for free. And kumbe, it's done. You can do it and actually earn a living from it, and not just coaching individuals but also companies, because I'd find like I've been invited to go and speak by a small company about maybe sales and marketing, and then they say, Sarah, that training that you did, that talk that you did, please, I need it personally. So how much will it cost? How much do you charge for 2 hours? So I had to now like come up with a package. Let me tell you something. Information is out there. There's a lot of information out there about everything, basically everything. Yeah, I can assure you that everything, what you do today, your profession, your work, your job, there's a lot of information about it online. Now, people don't buy information, people don't buy advice, people buy a package. So what you need to do is package whatever it is that you have. If you want to start a program, or if you want to start earning from your gifts and abilities, how do you monetize your gift and your talent? You need to package it. Yeah, so I started learning how do I package this. So I realized for me to package myself first, I need a name. I need a brand name. I need to identify myself as a life coach. So I started now writing on my Facebook everywhere, I'm a life coach. Instead of just, it was not very clear to me. Say, I'm a life coach. This is what I do. I help people find themselves. I help people achieve their dreams. I help people know what they have to be able to achieve their dreams and goals. And I help people to be more focused and disciplined. So um, I started now branding myself. I'm a life coach, I'm a corporate speaker and trainer in these areas 1, 2, 3, in change management, in leadership, and in personal development. And so that's how it all started. And so that's what I did. And then now people now start calling me and saying, wow, how can I become a life coach? And I'm like, are you serious? You're asking me that? Because it has been a journey of learning, discovering yourself. Let me tell you, discovering yourself is one of the most fascinating things you will ever do, like I said. And so for me, it's not something that you can learn from someone or go and get a certification somewhere to become a life coach. I was satisfied by who now I'm a life coach. No, you first of all find yourself, know who you are, your self identity, your purpose. You have to know those things. You can't be helping people who are lost if you don't know who you are, or helping people come to uplift other people to a position that you are in, a position of clarity in life, a position of purpose, of knowing purpose, when the ground you're standing on is not stable, you're not very sure about it, you cannot, and people feel it, people always know. So this is not, life coaching is not something that you can actually go and get a certification somewhere and say, now I'm a life coach. No, it's a journey that you take of, first of all, self-discovery, finding yourself, appreciating who you are, learning to listen to people more, because this has really helped me with people skills. I've learned to be a better listener. And usually for me, I'm a sanguine, so I most of the time I find myself talking. I don't have time for people listening, but this for other people. But through this journey, I have learned to, first of all, listen to myself, and first of all, understand myself, appreciate myself, so that now I can be able to listen to other people. I've become more of a listener. So now my work as a life coach is to be able to listen deeply into you, because I find many people coming to me with issues, and first of all, what I do is that I want to listen to you very deeply, understand where you're coming from, where you want to go, if you have a sense of where you want to go, and then I help you see what you have that can take you there. My job, by the way, as a life coach, is not to tell you where you need to go and what you need to do. That's not my job. Yeah, and I'm not trying to turn you into me, or into what I do or what I think you should do. No, I come to your space and ask you hard questions, and when you answer these questions, you'll get the answer or the direction of where you want to go. Yeah, so I don't come to tell you this is what you should do. No, 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 but I will give you some pointers that will help you to go where it's it that you want to go. And so for me, it's been a journey of learning and unlearning. First of all, unlearning so many things, and then learning and relearning things. It's a journey of self-discovery. It's my life has evolved over the last 3 years. My life has totally evolved. It's no longer the same. And I'm also so happy to say that I have been able to help very many people who come into my space. They want guidance, they're looking for a mentor, they're looking for someone to guide them, they want to get in the same space, find themselves and be able to 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 find purpose and clarity, and become achievers, in life. So it's a journey. It's been a wonderful and fulfilling journey. I have been able to meet people who I never thought I would meet in life. I mean, people I only used to see on TV. I have been able to go to places I only saw on travel maps. I have been able to have opportunities that I never thought I would have in my life, and a kind of recognition that comes with it. And for me, that's what important. What's important is getting a chance to be able to be of value to someone out there, and to be able to help somebody, to be able to contribute to somebody's life, and in a positive way. For me, that is it in life coaching. That is it. And the joy that I have, or what really gives me joy, is when somebody comes and says, Sarah, because of you, I'm a better person. Because of you, I stopped smoking weed. Because of you, I am better at relationships. Because of you, I